Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, we on?
Yep.
Alright. I just want to give everybody an excerpt of my sentencing speech. Just to put everything in context, like a broader context. So I got up there and I said, I stand here before you because of my aspirations to eliminate systemic disorders that plague James T. Vaughn Correctional Center. For years, many had to endure this plight. The vast majority became paralyzed by anger, inferiority, abuses, and any other ailment procreated by the 13th Amendment. My comrades and I drifted along this sea of subjugation, but ultimately refused to drown in it. While critics questioned the methods we employed to carry out our mission, none of them, not even in hindsight, has offered any viable alternatives that would urge the higher-ups to address all concerns in such an expeditious manner.
State Correctional Institution. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
Yep. You there, bro?
Yeah, it says.
Yeah, that was deep. For real.
Yeah, that was pretty much the size of it. It's, like, that level of force, in my eyes, it was needed.
Mm-hmm.
Put a curtain back. But it's like, people have been crying for decades. But it's like, how you cry to the same people that put you in this situation to begin with?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not going to, like, alleviate nothing. But when the pressure came from, like I said, pulling the curtain back,
mm-hmm.
and then doing independent investigations, which basically justified and substantiated what I was saying the whole time.
Right.
So
yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. You know what I mean? It's a thought that's been in the back of my mind, but it was kind of forced to the forefront. Not only speaking with you and Ruck, but just looking at different situations over the last week. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I'm going to tell you what I wrote. Hold on. It's short. Hold on. That's our interview. I'm trying to bring it up. It's never simple.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Jay Renee.
Let me see. It's very short. I was like, how much injustice, mental abuse, psychological welfare, and dehumanization is one to take? Is it not insane to continue to adore it, or is it insane to fight back?
Yeah, like, that right there, it's like, can't nobody objectively weigh that. You know what I'm saying? So, when does that turn to self-defense?
Right.
That's my fight, right? That's my fight in a nutshell. Like, when everybody at me went crazy,
this is a
SCI
Phoenix
and all the other shit they
Correctional
dope us up with.
Institution. This call is
Right.
subject to recording
Not
and
bad.
monitoring.
That's
Well,
like the only alternative.
Yeah, because people thought I snapped. But I didn't snap. I was well aware of what was going on. So when you snap, you don't come back. You feel me?
Right.
But like I said, that was a sound decision.
Mm-hmm.
That was a sound decision. A remedy, you know what I'm saying, for me.
For
Like,
sure.
to preserve my mind and my body, man.
Yeah.
And my spirit.
Yeah, I can understand that. So since this is where we at, explain from your words what unfolded when it started.
Excuse me, I can't really hear you. Say that again, please.
I said, so tell me from your perspective, you know, how things unfolded.
That day, right?
Yeah, that day.
Yeah. Like I mentioned earlier, we just plan to utilize the halftime during recreation to go in and my main thing from the rip was to make sure nothing happened to the counselor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though she was an advocate for us, but she just was a victim of circumstances, so I just wanted to make sure she was the only female, so nothing happened to her
Right.
during this thing. So, and that was the cue. Once I went in her office, my comrades, they was already stationed around 3 officers that was in the building controlling each wing. Once I went in her office, that was the signal for them to subdue the guard.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in. There was an inmate in there with her, but usually it might be another lieutenant or somebody in there with them doing hearings or classification. So that's how I went in with the knife. The knife first, you know what I'm saying? So, but there wasn't no lieutenant or nothing there, so I just made the inmate get out. You know what I'm saying? So she was panicking. So I'm trying to like let her know and then what happened to her. But you know, it's just the whole culture shock just hit her. You feel me? So,
right. I could imagine as a woman, I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So simultaneously, right? I'm hearing a commotion out in the hallway. You know what I'm saying? The guards being subdued by my comrades. So initially, I was just trying to get on the phone and just call the news journal and air it like that, right?
Uh-huh.
But I would say the counselor was like in a panic mode, so she couldn't even remember the passcode to the phones and none of this stuff, or the computer, none of that. So I'm like, damn, everything froze. But I did get on the phone to like a dispatch, and I just told them, you know what I'm saying, it's a hostage situation. I told them get the governor or the news journal up here ASAP, and I just hung up.
So, were you able to ever get an outside line to the news or anything?
Not directly at that moment.
Okay.
Not at that moment. So I'm trying to calm her down, and like I just draped some rope over her just to make it like look good, and put a hood on her face. And I told her, not for her, because I didn't want her to identify nobody that was with me, so I'm protecting them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I put a hood over her face. So couple seconds later, they got the guards down, handcuffed them, and put them in the closet. 2 in the mop closet and 1 in the utility closet. So I got one of the walkie-talkies. So I got that on the hip, and then all of a sudden I just hear, they coming. And see everybody clear out the hallway. I'm like, damn, how the fuck who sounded the alarm that early?
Right.
So my tier was 8 tier, which was like right connected to the hallway, the end of the tier. So I stood like behind the door. It's a glass window, so I could see right down the hallway where everything took place at. So like a couple seconds later, I see the first responders. So it's like a lieutenant and 4 or 5 officers run in the building and run right down there to where everything took place at, right in the hub area.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at the whole scene. I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm the only one like standing out in the hallway, but I'm like off to the side. I'm like, damn. It's over before it started. So then I see this guard. He just staring at the counselor, but he didn't go in the room.
Mm-hmm.
He in the hallway just staring at her. So I'm like,
This is a call from SCI, Phoenix State Correctional Institution. This call is subject to recording and
then
monitoring.
so after watching him, like he not even going near her.
Right.
I guess he's got a hood on and like some rope draped over. He just stuck, he's frozen. Then I see the lieutenant. He was saying something to the sergeant behind the door. He was at the door. They were speaking to each other, or whatever. I wasn't sure what they were saying. Then like a couple seconds later, I just see all of them start running towards me and run out the building. Like that was just like the weirdest shit.
So they ain't see you?
So, huh?
They didn't see you? Okay.
Cause I'm just standing there behind like a glass window looking at them, but I didn't think they cared. I didn't think they were paying no mind to nobody. They just wanted to get out the building.
Right. Okay.
So all of them ran out the building, and I ran in like the corridor area where the door was at, the exit.
Mhm.
I'm like, what's going on? So I look, and I lock eyes with the lieutenant as she locking the door from the outside. I'm like, shit, my mind, I said, this is supposed to happen. Like, they just gave it to me like that.
Right.
So, but kind of find out, they just panicked. Bull, the guard that was looking at the counter, he said, man, he just panicked. He froze. He said, I don't understand later on. He first he thought it was a drill. And then he just froze. So, all of them left. Then I went out to the yard and called everybody in. And made everybody lock in themselves. To start getting stuff situated.
Mhm.
And now it's time to put up the barricades and everything.
Mhm.
So I got some people to do that. Like I was just like facilitating different tasks or different people like that wasn't even involved, but
This is a call from
right now,
SCI, Phoenix State Correctional Institution. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
like fuck it, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't no resistance. Like when people started coming in from the yard,
Mhm.
they just like, damn, where the guards at? You know what I'm saying? So that was like a shock in itself. Some people didn't even know how to like
How to
cope
be, huh?
without no guards around.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was sad for me to see that.
Damn. Yeah. That says a lot.
Yeah, like they were scared of me. They looking for around like who want to save it up for me. I'm like, man, come on, man.
Right. Don't even know. Not even realizing. Damn.
Yeah, like that was deep. Yeah, that was deep, man.
How was the old timers acting? Was this the old timers being like this?
Nah, it was a mixture.
Okay.
Some old timers, they was like, I don't know, like it's like they had a new lease on life, man. Like one old timer, like he was with the shits back in the day. So
Right.
I guess he just like
He an old man now. Yeah.
as time went on, he just was going with the flow.
Mhm.
But he was like back in his element. And like I said, he was like, man, I feel free. I feel free. So I said, so once I got everybody in, told everybody get in their cell, keep their locker boxes out, so we could put up the barricades and all that. Was just assessing what was going on. I had the walkie-talkie, so went back in the counselor office, and I took her to a cell that somebody trusted, and was like, yo, it was my man Six. Like, yo, putting her in here, man. And like, he's the type of person I ain't had to tell him don't let nobody in, or not
Right.
don't let nobody do no dumb shit. Because not here I gotta understand it. So took her down there, and that's when dudes knew it was real. Because they was peeking out their windows and shit, and I heard somebody say, "Damn, they got hostages and everything."
Right.
Because don't nobody really know where nobody at. So I took her to the 6th cell. Then I told my man BG to go around there and just, extra security for her.
Right.
And then I went to the classroom. And I let everybody come out in the hallway, go ahead. Like, I wasn't, confining nobody, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself. But then, even with that, some people scared to come out. Come out their room. People lock their door, like, I'm like, all right. But my whole thing, while I'm in the classroom, I got the walkie-talkie, so my first contact was like, yo. I just said yo into the walkie-talkie. And then I heard all these people talking, so I guess I was on the same frequency as everybody else, the guards and stuff. And I heard one guard say, I'm glad such and such, glad he retired. He wouldn't want to to this shit. That's what happens when you let guys out the shoe or out the hole. Shit like this. So they still trying to blame.
Yeah.
They still want to blame us. But so I touched bases, and then a negotiator came on.
So y'all had a list of demands, yeah?
Yeah.
What were they?
Primarily, I know one off top. One was for the programs because dudes were stuck in limbo because there was no programs and they was just steady taking them. And dudes that had was mandated to do programs before they can hit their release dates.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't had no opportunity. So they just had to stay in limbo until they finish the program. So how you going to
finish something that's not going on?
Yeah, base a sentence off of release. That I finish a program when y'all ain't got no program.
Right.
So that, and then the conduct of the guards need to be addressed. A lot of them needed to be fired. School stuff. It had a lot to do with the guards' conduct, stuff
Right.
like that. And then plus, I even asked for an audit of the money that was allocated to the prisons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's like, in my mind, if you want to see a person's, what their interest is, you see how they spend their money.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's like, we ain't got shit, so where the money going?
I'm trying to tell you. I be asking the same question, bruh, out of these prisons. Where's the money going? If it's not going where it's supposed to go, somebody's stealing it.
Where the money going? We needed a new classification system, new grievance system. Well, probably a whole nother structure. I don't want to call it a grievance system because that shit ain't work. You know what I'm saying? Just a whole nother, just abolish all that shit, man. I guess that's the root of all this stuff, man. Like, 'cause these are just the effects and the cause. Like I said, man, it just need to be, all this need to be rethinked altogether. But, yeah, so that was like the core demands for real. That was like the core demand.
Did it? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, so when you were talking to the negotiator, did it seem like they were hearing your demands, or was they just trying to take the situation back?
Yeah, they were just trying to take the situation back. Like, they were just trying to, like, you know what they do, negotiate, trying to just talk me down, and but you gotta think, I was in prison around the slickest talking dudes, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I know how to extract the bullshit.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And they start sensing that. So now I'm like, I'm not even answering him. I'm just walking back and forth to the front door window, to the back window, and all the tears. And I'm just looking at them. And some of them try to like get close to the building. I'm just telling them back up. Like I'm letting them know it's real.
Right.
But it seemed like that part ain't settled in for them for a long time, like a couple hours. Like, yo, this shit is real, man. Like, so I mean, I even had to put the walkie-talkie to some of the guards and let them hear them.
Right.
Tell them what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
They had to feel that shit. And once that started settling in, like, yeah, this ain't no act, and
right.
This ain't no stunt. Like, this shit is all the way live. And then, so they had cut the phones off. So now I'm negotiating to get the phone on, but I want the jail phones on because I had people call their folks and then call the news journal on three-way.
Got it.
So that would be another.
You have 1 minute left.
Getting it out there.
Mm-hmm.
doing it. They were trying to keep everything secluded to this walkie-talkie conversation.
Right.
So I'm like, nah, that's defeat the purpose too. I'm trying to pull this lid back off this motherfucker.
Right. Scratch a lie, find a thief.